Lily reread the letter to her daughter and signed her name at the bottom. Her hands shaking from exhaustion, she dabbed glue on the top right corner of the stationery. She chose bell-like white flowers with slim leaves and pressed them gently into the glue. Lily of the valley for the return of happiness, she thought. I've given her every clue I can. Chapter 1. Spizzy Tinny Dingley. A flash on the brown carpeting caught Laurel's eye, and she jumped mid-step to keep from crushing it. What the? 3 bright flowers tied with a shiny silver ribbon lay just outside her dormitory door. Her chest fluttered with excitement as she picked them up. There were 2 small white ones, a red one with a yellow center and some feathery leaves. She looked both ways, but the hall was dim and empty. She bit the inside of her lip. Pranking, according to her sophomore cousin Rose, was one of the more popular hobbies on the campus of the Avondale School outside Charlottesville, Virginia. Laurel listened for telltale giggles to break the silence, but all was still, and there was no note with the flowers. Could a guy have left them, she wondered? Anytime she saw willow lawn boys on campus, she couldn't help double-taking. What had been a daily occurrence at her old school was now the exception, and she hadn't made any guy friends yet. Nearly everyone at both schools had started there in 6th grade, which left little room for newcomers like Laurel. She lifted the delicate blooms to her face and breathed in. Sweetly spicy, the scents mingled in her nose and swirled through her head. Her body seemed to be floating up and spinning, light and dizzy. She threw out her hands against door frame. Whoa! Laurel blinked while the hallway around her stabilized. She knew the white flowers were snowdrops, one of the earliest buds to bloom, but the red one and the feathery stuff were unfamiliar. Mom would have known their names, Laurel thought. She knew everything about flowers. Crisscrossing the mulched pathways, Laurel picked the rest of the flowers on her list, but she wasn't quite ready to leave the garden. Every branch, every bud seemed strangely fresh and distinct this morning, as if her vision had suddenly cleared. Everything unfolding in green seemed to shimmer and shine with newness. The garden felt almost magical, as if she might turn a corner and come upon lithe fairies dancing in a circle. She just started down an intriguing path when a bell rang in the distance. Panic gripped her body like a hard pinch. "Merde," she said under her breath. She turned and sprinted back toward the main campus. Rose was right. There was something satisfying about cursing in French. Laura rounded the brick corner of Founders Hall at full speed and crashed into a tight clump of classmates. Tara stumbled backward at the impact, and Laurel had to grab the nearest arm to stop her momentum. Flowers flew from her basket. "Ah!" Tara screamed. Her pink cell phone spiraled out of her hand as she landed on a low bush. Nicole, a plump girl with brown skin and spiky hair, ran to pull her up. Laurel's stomach clenched. "I'm sorry, I thought I was late." "Watch it, Whelan." Tara shook at her long black hair and smoothed her uniform skirt. "I told you she's in La-La Land," she announced to the circle of girls. Laurel realized she was still holding on to someone's jacket and let go. "Sorry." "No problem," said Kate, a tall blonde classmate who spoke with a southern twang, "but save your speed for soccer." Laurel hardly knew Kate, but they were both trying out for the JV soccer team, as was Tara. Before the tryouts, Laura had avoided the glare of Tara's attention. Lightly, though, Tara seemed to look for opportunities to knock her down a notch. "Who are you supposed to be anyway?" Tara's hands rose to her thin hips. "Little Red Riding Hood?"